Shalom, Israel. Welcome back again to Each One Reach One. We're keeping it moving, rolling along today in our video study, Christianity versus the Bible. Let us begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. All praise is due. Grace, peace, and blessings, as always, and salutations to my brethren and my sisters out there, the elect of Israel. Thanks for joining me. Let's get into the study. We're going to pick up today, you guys, in Isaiah chapter 14. We're going to start at verse 1, okay? Topic, subject matter, Israel's taunt. Israel's taunt. Let's see what this means. We see the subject matter. We see that, once again, it's about Israel. It's like, it seems like all throughout the book that this entire book is about Israel. It's like this book is about one particular people and only them. This is meant for them. I mean, I don't, maybe it's just, you know, I'm a Black Hebrew Israelite, you know what I'm saying, cult member, and it's just me and my hate speech, just me and my hateful heart, and I'm just rearranging and changing everything that's in here. Or it's just my interpretation. I don't really see with my own eyes that it's talking about Israel and only Israel. That's just me making it up, right? My translation, my interpretation, right? Verse 1, let's see, let's go. For the Lord, Yahweh, will have mercy on who? On Jacob. He said he will have mercy on Jacob. See, you guys can't get past this. You guys want to keep saying that he threw away his people, but he never said that he would do that. He always said that I will have mercy on them. He said this. This was always the plan, always the plan. He didn't start off and say, you know what, I'm going to have mercy on Jacob. And then later on, he said, you know what? Nah, I changed my mind. You know, I'm not going to have mercy on them. I'm gonna get rid of them, forsake them, cast them out, and I'm gonna allow, you know, all the people that I've hated throughout all the generations to now come, call on a God that ain't a God, call on a name that ain't really my son, and I'm gonna let them be grafted. I'm gonna let them take the place of my children. Get the fuck out of here. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel. Who? Israel. Who? Come on, say it loud. Israel. And set them in their own land. See, this is where the Christians are starting to go try to say, see, the people over there, you know, the 1948ers, they fulfilled this prophecy already. Really? Context. We already know that to be a phony proposition, a phony position to have, but let us see what the scriptures say even further. Okay. And set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them. So right now, the strangers of Israel shall be joined with them. Israel ain't allowing anybody to be joined with them that ain't them. Those people over there right now, Israelis, excuse me, I said Israel. I misspoke. I meant the Israelis are not allowing anybody, any strangers, to be joined with them. No, y'all got to get the fuck out of here. Y'all got to get out. Y'all got to get away. You goyim, you got to get out. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Who's cleaving to those people right now? Who? I don't see it. But look, again, it says, the strangers shall be joined into Israel, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, the bloodline, the people. Not the spirit, not spiritual Israel. Bloodline, the house of Jacob, the seed line. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. Listen, the people, what people? What people? And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids. What? I don't see those people over there possessing the other peoples of the world for servants and handmaids right now. That means somebody lied, because if they were the people and they fulfilled prophecy in 1948, all the other peoples of the land, all the other peoples are supposed to be in servitude, in captivity to them right now, being possessed by them right now, in the land right now, being used as servants and handmaids, right? Let's read further. And they who, the Israelites, shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. When were those people ever the captives of other nations? Even in Germany, they weren't captives. They were residents. They were residents. Okay? They were not captives. And they were, and see, and if they were the true Israel, they would have been captives to all the nations. They would be taken captive into all the four corners of the earth, not just by one country. You got to throw that out. Right? And this is where look at the promise, Gentiles, the promise of the Father, the promise. Listen, this is why you guys got to understand. You are not going to be saved. You don't get to be grafted in. Listen to your judgment. Listen to what gets to happen to you. Listen. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. Us, the so-called Negro, who were taken captives and enslaved by all of these nations. It is the Most High's promise to his people that we are going to turn around and enslave you. You are going to become our captives. That is the judgment upon you. You guys were allowed to rule over us for a time. But then we would take you captives, whose captives we were. And we are the they, shall rule over our oppressors. That's his promise. That's the judgment to come. See, that's why they try to teach you that the Old Testament is to be thrown out. That's why they don't want you reading the Old Testament, because it's fucking scary. This is a scary place for a scary neck of the woods for the true Gentiles by blood to walk into. They don't want to read this shit. They don't want to hear any of this. This is scary. This is why they have so many different revisions of the Bible. Oh man, it's scary. The King James Version in the Old Testament, it's a scary place to be. You don't want to walk into this part of town. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. See, so there's a time period that's going to come when his people is going to be given rest from their sorrow. Are those people over there rested from sorrow? No, they're at war. They're at war. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear. You think those people over there have any sort of fear, knowing that all those countries that are surrounding them hate them, shooting missiles and shit over there and want to kill them? Is that peace? Is that safety? No, that's fear and sorrow. They're not resting from fear and sorrow, right? Back from the top. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. When did they serve hard bondage? At any point in their history? When? I'll wait. Okay, waiting's over. Waiting's over. It shouldn't take you that damn long to answer that question, because it's real easy. Never. That should come to you real fast. Real fast. But guess who did get forced to serve hard bondage in all the lands wherein we were made to serve? Guess which people? You got it. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. That's coming. We're going to get to say that. We're going to get to say that. The Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people of Israel in wrath with a continual stroke, meaning nonstop persecution of this people. These people should have been persecuted nonstop throughout all of the time to the end. Which people? Which people is that? Who are they? Can you look around? Can you point them out? And who did it? Who were the ones that smote the people in wrath? with a continual stroke. The true Gentiles, the sons of Japheth, in conjunction with the sons of Esau. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. He's telling you what's going to happen, that you people that ruled the nations in anger, you will be persecuted and none will hinder. None will be able to stop it. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Why? Because when the white man gets brought down and the powers behind them get brought down, the whole earth is going to be able to rest and be quiet and break forth into singing. Joy will return to the earth when the wickedest nation ever to exist is brought down from power. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee. No, sorry, no, that's not what I want to get. Let's jump down to verse 32. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That Yahweh hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. That Yahweh hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. He only cares about his people. He founded Zion. If he founded all the nations, how does this make sense? Can you dig it? Israel, I know you do, but these heathens, boy, I'm pretty. At this point, most of them and checked out. They ain't even following the series anymore. But there's some people who are watching this one right now because this is the most recent one. So they're seeing this one. They didn't even go back and look at the ones from the beginning. They just saw this one and they clicked on it. So they might be hearing this shit right now and they're terrified. They probably already tucked tail and got the fuck out of here. This is not a safe space for Gentiles, but actual Gentiles by blood. This is not a safe space for heathens. Okay? This is not a safe space for the 2/3 of Israel. You know what I mean? All right, continuing on. Isaiah, moving ahead to chapter 17. Let's start at verse 1. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. The cities of Aurora are forsaken. They shall be for flocks, which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant from Syria. That shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith the Yahweh of hosts. And in that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. See, this is a reference to us being brought down out of power back then, right? And it shall be, see, well, look, he said shall come to pass. See, when he said shall, that means it will happen. And this happened. It happened. He said it will happen, and then it happened. This is the scary part. I get it, Christians. I get it, Gentiles, that when he says something will happen, it will happen. Everything that he said will happen, all the destruction he said will happen to his people, it happened. It happened. So how do you think that you're going to get out of all the destruction that he says will happen to you? Why do you think that everything that he says he will do to lift us back up and restore us, why do you think it won't happen? When you know that every time he says it shall be or it shall come to pass, that it does. It does. And it shall be as when the harvestman gathereth the corn and reapeth the ears with his arm. And it shall be as he that gathereth ears in the valley of Rephaim. Yet gleaning grapes shall be left in it, as the shaking of an olive tree, 2 or 3 berries in the top of the uttermost bough, 4 or 5 in the outmost fruitful branches thereof, saith Yahweh, the power of Israel. He's saying this because 2/3 of his own people will be gathered and destroyed, and there's going to be a small remnant left, just like the gleaning of grapes and the shaking of an olive tree. A few will remain. A small number will remain. And at that day shall a man look to his maker and his eyes shall have respect to who? The Holy One of Israel. Not the Holy One of the entire earth, right? Right. Keep your perspective. The Holy One of Israel. And he shall not look to the altars, the work of his hands, neither shall respect that which his fingers have made, neither the groves or the images. In that day shall his strong cities be as a forsaken bough and as an uppermost branch, which they left because of the children of Israel. And there shall be desolation, because thou hast forgotten the power of thy salvation. Possess it. Right? Not everybody has some salvation. The Most High is not the power of everybody's salvation, because everybody doesn't have salvation. He's talking to Israel. So when he says, you have forgotten the power of your salvation, he's talking to Israel. And has not been mindful of the rock of thy strength, the rock of thy strength. He is the rock of the strength of Israel, not of everybody. Therefore shalt thou plant pleasant plants, and shalt set it with strange slips. Right? Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations, that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but the Most High shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. And behold, at eventide, trouble, and before the morning, he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. Who did this to us? Who spoiled the Israelites? Who pillaged the Israelites? Who trodden down the Israelites? You know who. You know who. And behold, at eventide, trouble. And before the morning, he is not. You're going to be destroyed, Gentiles, heathens, you Christians. This is the portion of them that spoil us, Israelites, and the lot of them that rob us. This is your guarantee. This book does not guarantee you salvation. It says nothing about you having salvation. It is not for you. Woe unto you. Isaiah chapter 18. Start at verse 1. Message to Ethiopia. Woe to the land shadowing with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, that sendeth ambassadors by the sea, even in vessels of bulrushes upon the waters, saying, Go, ye swift messengers, to a nation scattered and peeled, to a people terrible from their beginning hitherto, a nation meted out and trodden down, whose land the rivers have spoiled. All ye inhabitants of the world and dwellers on the earth, see ye, when he lifteth up an ensign on the mountains, and when he bloweth the trumpet, hear ye. For so Yahweh said unto me, I will take my rest, and I will consider in my dwelling place like a clear heat upon herbs, and like a cloud of dew in the heat of harvest. For afore the harvest, when the bud is perfect, and the sour grape is ripening in the flower, he shall both cut off the sprigs with pruning hooks, and take away and cut down the branches. They shall be left together unto the fowls of the mountains, and unto the beasts of the earth. And the fowls shall summer upon them, and all the beasts of the earth shall winter upon them. In that time shall the present be brought unto Yahweh of hosts, of a people scattered and peeled. What people? Were the people scattered and peeled? Scattered and had everything taken from them, peeled. And from a people terrible from their beginning hitherto, a nation meted out and trodden under foot. Which people are the lowest in society? Everywhere they are, trodden under the foot of the other nations around them. Who? Whose land the rivers have spoiled. Rivers, people. These other people have spoiled our land to the place of the name of Yahweh of hosts, the Mount Zion. This book makes it plain. I know this is a hard walk to take. You know what I mean? If you're in the church and you love Jesus, this is hard for you. But there are some of you out there who you're thirsting for knowledge. You feel something in your spirit. You feel a tug trying to pull you out of the church, or you already felt it. It pulled you out, and now you're looking for what's next. What's the truth? What is the truth? I know there's a God. I know, but I don't believe what I was taught in church. This is for you. All right? This is for you. Message to Egypt. Chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right. See, now, what you got to understand is some things are literal, some things have spiritual connotations. Okay. You have to understand this. And some things are both. Some things are twofold, because the Most High, he's a genius. He works in double and triple entendres. Okay. Meaning things can be taken the same, you can read the same thing and it has multiple applications. Okay. Egypt means bondage. Everywhere the Israelites were taken into captivity, that's Egypt. That's the land of bondage for his people. Everywhere his people are in captivity, that's the land of Egypt. Spiritual Egypt, some people would say, right? Some people would say. The burden of Egypt, the burden of all the lands where my people are scattered, is another way to interpret that. Okay? The burden of the land of bondage. Get it? All right. He said he will set Egyptians against Egyptians. You see how in America, you see white folks are now, white on white crime is always been a thing. But you see how it's escalating. You see how all the peoples are being put one against the other. Have you noticed it? The uprisings and the uproars of the people, right? Everyone shall fight one against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. Look what's going on in the world right now. The manifestation of the word of the Most High is happening. In the spirit of Egypt, see, the spirit of Egypt, there's a spirit of bondage. The spirit of the land of bondage shall fail in the midst thereof. It's failing. See, you heard your President Biden talking about, this is a fight for the spirit of the nation. This is a fight for the spirit of the nation. Yeah, the spirit of Egypt. This is a fight for the spirit of the nation. And it's failing. The spirit of the nation is failing in the midst thereof. And I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols. That's why they're clinging to their Jesus, to their Allah, to their stone, to their rock, hoping that rock is going to get up, grow legs and arms and spiritual powers and do something for them. And to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. Listen, when he says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, he's talking about the rulership. He's talking about his spirits that he's going to send to cause the leadership and rulership of the nations to turn cruel and fierce against their own people. And the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. He's not talking about actual rivers. He's talking about people. They're going to be wasted and dried up. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish. Moreover, they that work in fine flax, and they that weave network shall be confounded, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof, all that make sluices and ponds for fish. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Yahweh of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. He has mingled a perverse spirit. That's why you see all the perverseness going on here, right? All manner of perverseness, all manner of things that are contrary to the Most High. This is the land of perverseness. It's all systems go. It's all systems go. Everything goes here. Everything is accepted and allowed, except for the children of Israel coming back to their heritage. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. We have to accept everybody and everything they claim to be and want to be and change to be. You can change to be anything in the world except from being an African to an Israelite. You can claim to be anything you want except an Israelite. The Lord Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. Look at them, everything they do. They're in error, perverseness everywhere. As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. You see the work drying up. People are being replaced by automation. Jobs are failing, right? Many businesses are shutting down. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Don't you sense the spirit of fear happening in all the land? People are scared. Look at them. White folks have lost their mind and stormed the Capitol. They're so scared. So-and-so will not replace us. Our freedoms. Man, give us our liberties. This is my country. My government infringing on my rights. These motherfuckers are scared of everything. Everything. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. The land of Judah. Remember, everywhere his people are, that's the land. That's the land. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he hath determined against it. This is happening right now. Terror is striking all the peoples as concerning us. They're all afraid. They're scared. This is why they're trying to fight against this word, this message going out. They want to shut it down. We are a terror unto the inhabitants of the land. Everyone that make mention of us are afraid in himself. All of them. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to the Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. In that day shall there be an altar to Yahweh in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof, to Yahweh. We know this is to come. This didn't happen in history. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto Yahweh because of the oppressors. See, so if this happened in the time after the children of the children of Israel were brought out of Egypt, it has to be talking about a different time, whereas people were being oppressed in the land of Egypt, and it's not talking about that land over there, because that's not where his people are being oppressed, right? Because of the oppressors, we are crying out unto Yahweh right now because of our oppressors. We're doing it right now in the land of bondage right now. Egypt means land of bondage. Mizraim, land of bondage, right? And he shall send them a savior. Them, his people. He shall send them a savior, and the great one. And he shall deliver them, not everyone, them, Israel, Israelites being the them in this statement. Can you dig it? And Yahweh shall smite Egypt. He shall smite and heal it. See, because this is our land. A lot of folks don't understand. He's going to smite it and he's going to heal it. And they shall return even to Yahweh, and he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them. You hear that, Israel? Return to your power, and he shall be entreated of you and shall heal you. He's healing us now. He's restoring us. And before long, he's going to return us to God's status. He's going to make us like him. And we will be the true dread of all the nations when they are in subjection to the gods of the earth. Wow. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. In that day, see, they shall serve with them. Serve who? The Israelites. All the people, the Egyptians, remember I told you, the Egyptians are the people who are oppressing his people all throughout the world, all throughout the earth. Egypt is wherever his people were in bondage and oppressed. So the people of those lands were the Egyptians. So all the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. Serve who? The Israelites. All right, just make sure we got that clear. Verse 24, in that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land. We will be the blessing in the midst of the land. People will have to eat and get everything that they need from us. We will be their blessing. They will have to come to us for want of all things. Verse 25, whom Yahweh of hosts shall bless. Who is that? Just to get proper context in case you guys have lost the context because I gave that little commentary. Let's go back to top of 24 and read it through smoothly so there's no confusion. In that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land, whom Yahweh of hosts shall bless, saying, blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. Israel, my inheritance. Such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing. Let's keep it going, you guys. Let's keep it going. We want Isaiah chapter 21, and let's grab verse 10. Oh, my threshing. Who's speaking here? The Most High, Yahweh. Oh, my threshing and the corn of my floor, that which I have heard of Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, have I declared unto you. Salak. Salak. This is Isaiah speaking about Israel. Oh, my threshing and the corn of my floor, that which I have heard of Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, have I declared unto you. Because he's an Israelite being spoken to by the Most High, who is what? The power of Israel, which is declaring all these words to who? You. Who is you? His people. Who are his people? What is he? He's an Israelite. So his people had to be what? Israelites. So declared unto who? You, Israelites. Got it. All right. Okay, cool. We're all clear on that? All right, cool. Got it. Excellent. All right. Isaiah 24, verse 14. They shall lift up their voice. They shall sing for the majesty of the Lord. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore glorify ye Yahweh in the fires, even the name of Yahweh, the power of Israel in the isles of the sea. Wherefore glorify ye Yahweh in the fires, not the literal fires, meaning all of the trials and tribulations that you go through. Glorify ye Yahweh. Glorify him throughout your trials, throughout your persecutions, throughout your oppression. Glorify him still. Right? Because of his promises to bring us out of it. Don't wait until he brings us out of it and then try to glorify him. No, you glorify him now for his promises. And you take your punishment, your chastisement like good soldiers, understanding that you deserved it. Verse 21, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high. The high ones are the rulership, the people that are above, that are on high. He said that Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. So all of the people who are elevated, all the ones who are high ones, they're on a high, they're rich and they're, well-to-do and they're blessed, they're having their blessings, right? And the kings of the earth, the rulership of the earth, right? He's going to punish them. That's what he says. It shall come to pass, he says. That's a guarantee. And they shall be gathered together. They who? All of these other people that are on high, all of the rulers of the earth. They shall all be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after many days shall they be visited. The moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, shall reign in Mount Zion. He shall reign in Mount Zion in the midst of his people, and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. See, and in Jerusalem, the northern kingdom, those Gentiles that he speaks of in the New Testament, it's not for you. He promised that he will recover Jerusalem. They are the Gentiles preached to in the New Testament, Christians. You can't get around it. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Isaiah chapter 25, verse 1. O Yahweh, thou art my power. See, thou art my God. Thou art my power. I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. Listen, his counsels are what? Faithfulness and truth. Faithfulness, meaning you can rely on them, which means when he says something, he means it. They aren't faithfulness and truth if they don't come to pass, if he doesn't mean it, if he changes it. They are not faithfulness and truth. For thou hast made of a city a heap, of a defense city, a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city, and shall never be built. A palace of strangers to be no city. Therefore shall the strong people glorify thee. The city of the terrible nations shall fear thee. For thou hast been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress. Who are the poor? Who are the needy in distress throughout the land? Who are these people? A refuge from the storm. Which people are trapped in a storm? A shadow from the heat when the blast of the terrible ones is as a storm against the wall. Who are the terrible ones? The people, the mighty people right now, the people with the power to oppress, the people with the military, the people with the governmental body, the people with the law enforcement agencies that are able to use all of these different avenues to stomp on the children of Israel. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers. Who are the strangers? The Gentiles. All of the non-Israelites. He said, you will bring down the noise of strangers as the heat in a dry place, even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. The branch of the terrible ones shall be brought low. The branch of the terrible ones, the children, everybody in that tree, every branch shall be brought low. All their branches shall be brought low. You and your children, heathens and Gentiles. And in this mountain shall the Lord of hosts make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wines on the lees, of fat things full of marrow, of wines on the lees well refined. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. See, he's going to remove the covering cast that is over all the people. He's going to remove the veil that is spread over all the nations. The veil, the spiritual veil that keeps people in darkness and doesn't allow them to see and understand the truth. One day, all the nations will know the truth. We won't have to preach this and try to convince anybody of anything. They're going to know. He's going to remove the veil. They're going to know. Okay? He will swallow up death in victory. What does that mean? What does that mean? He's going to make it to where his people never die again. His people will be given God's status and given immortality. There will be no more death for his people. For his people, death will be swallowed up in victory. And the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces, not off all faces of everybody on the earth, of all the faces of his chosen. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. You hear that? The rebuke of his people shall he take away. He will take away from off all the earth. For Yahweh hath spoken it. That's his word. That's his word. He will take away his rebuke away from his people. He is going to restore us. And it shall be said in that day, lo, this is our power. We have waited for him, and he will save us. What do you people need to be saved from, Gentiles and heathens? What do you need to be saved from? This is your heaven. You're enjoying your heaven. You've been enjoying your heaven. Your heaven is being destroyed now. It's been brought down. It's crumbling. It's over. Your blessings are being taken away. The curses have been removed from the Israelites and they've been placed on you. Oh, you're going to need to be saved here in a little bit, but what have you needed to be saved from up until this point? Who've been persecuting you? It's been your people in power. Your people have been the mighty, strong people on top of the necks of everybody on the earth, ruling over the entire earth. You. It's not talking about you. You guys weren't waiting on him for salvation. You've had your time on the horse. You were placed on high for a while. You were made a mountain for a season. Speaking of mountains, verse 10, for in this mountain shall the hand of the Lord rest. For in this mountain, meaning in this people, in this high people, which one is he talking about? Israel. Shall the hand of the Lord rest. And Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dunghill. See, when the Most High stretches his hand out against you, remember, that means judgment and persecution and chastisement. When his hand rests on the nation, that's the opposite. That means peace, safety for his people. He's promising that his people will trodden down these other nations. But why would this happen if he loves everybody? If he loves the entire world, why would he do this to the entire world that he loves so much? Verse 11, and he shall spread forth his hands in the midst of them, Israel. And as he that swimmeth spreadeth forth his hands to swim, and he shall bring down their pride together with the spoils of their hands. Talking about all the other nations. And the fortress of the high fort of thy walls shall he bring down, lay low, and bring to the ground, even to the dust. This is what you guys have to look forward to. Not salvation, destruction. That is his promise. He's a keeper of promises. If he say it, he will do it. It has to come to pass. There's no way to change what he says. It has to be. If he says it, it has to be. That's how it works. Moving on, Isaiah chapter 26, verse 1. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We who? The people of the land of Judah who are singing this song. We have a strong city. Salvation will the Most High appoint for walls and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation, which keepeth the truth, may enter in. Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Thou will keep him in perfect peace. Listen to this. Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. If you need to smoke and smoke and smoke and smoke to escape reality, your mind is not in perfect peace. You are not in perfect peace. That means because your mind is not stayed on the power. How can it be stayed on the power when your brain is in a fog all the time? How can he dwell in you and you're a filthy vessel? You don't trust in him. You're trying to fake it to make it, calling on his name, but getting blasted and blitzed all day. If you're feeling convicted by this, straighten yourself up. He might be giving you a chance to iron out your wrinkles. This is what you're supposed to be doing. He's coming back for a church without spot or wrinkle, right? This is your season. Iron out those spots. Iron out those wrinkles. Wash out those spots. Right? He wants you to hear this. Right? He wants you to convert. He wants you to get yourself together. If you are indeed his and you haven't cleaned yourself up yet, do so now. Do so now. Don't think that it's okay. It's all good. He don't really mind. Oh, he minds. He does. Oh, he knows what I'm going through. He know I need this blunt. Oh, he gave me strong drink. It's all good. Y'all better get rid of that thinking. Y'all better get rid of that thinking. Verse 4, trust ye in Yahweh forever. Trust ye. You got to trust him. Trust him. You're not trusting in him if you're having to escape your troubles through the bottle or through the blunt. You're not trusting in him. You're trusting on the blunt. That blunt is your God. That liquor is your God. You seek the liquor, you seek the bottle for your peace. You seek the blunt for your calm and your peace. Uh-oh. Verse 4, trust ye in Yahweh forever, for in Yahweh is everlasting strength. Everlasting strength for his people that trust in him. Everlasting. See, he promises people everlasting strength. He can't, how's he going to forsake a people that he's promised everlasting strength to? That doesn't make sense. Contradiction. And the power, he doesn't contradict himself. Men contradict themselves. So there's a contradiction in your understanding, not in the words. If you hear a contradiction, that's your own understanding. That's where the problem lies. It's not with the power. It's not with the Most High. Verse 5. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city. He layeth it low. He layeth it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. Lofty city. Lofty city. Who's the lofty city? You know, same way that in this instance, city is referring to the people. He's going to bring it down low to the ground. Guess which people that is? The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor. Who shall tread down the city that's on high? The feet of the poor. Who are the poor? And the steps of the needy. Who are the needy and poor? Don't act like you don't know. Don't act stupid now. Right? Don't act game goofy now. Verse 7, the way of the just is uprightness. Thou, most upright, dost weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. This is true. See, because these wicked people that are above us, they were shown favor. Being placed above us and given all these blessings, he showed them favor and they did not learn righteousness. They increased ever the more wickedly. Right? In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. Nor Yahweh, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see. Meaning when he executes judgment, when he does things, they won't see. See, because they think it's their own power. They take him out of the equation. They don't understand and realize that it's him that's responsible. That is his hand behind it. But they shall see and be ashamed for their envy at the people. What people? Israel. Their envy at the people. They envy us. They can say what they want, but they envy us. Everything about us, they envy us. They envy us for the promise that we are due to inherit. They envy us as a people. We are gifted in every way. This is why they have a system of oppression that is so strong, because it's necessary to keep a strong people down. You have to have a system in place that keeps them down, that starts crushing them from the time they come out of the womb. You got to have people, you got to have sellouts that are put in place in order to help crush the people. Sorry, Black woman, Negro woman, Israelite woman, you have been the major sellouts that were put in place by the enemies to help crush your people. You've done it. You were co-opted by the enemy. You have become the right hand of the enemy, Israelite woman. You have enjoyed heaven as well with them. You got to enjoy in their heaven. This is the reason why the Most High, when he corrects everything, he's going to make you have to share a man with multiple women. You will have to pay that price for having been brought up and exalted above the men. You're going to have to come down like everybody else, have to come down beneath the Israelite man. You got to come down also. You have to come down also. You can't get away from this either, women. All right, ladies, understand. There will be a whole lot of sharing and liking it going on. A whole lot of sharing and shutting the fuck up going on. This is the judgment of the Most High. Okay? The fire of thine enemies shall devour them. Right? And he will use nation against nation, enemy against enemy. The Most High has built up all of these armies and all of these militaries. He did it. These countries didn't do it. He did it so that he can use them one against another. That's what he's always done. He raised up one people, make them strong, and give them a power to take down another group of people. That's what he's always done. Lord Yahweh, thou will ordain peace for us. He will ordain peace. See, another promise. There's no peace over there for those people. They have not fulfilled prophecy. And he has a promise that he will ordain peace for us, not that he will throw away his people. It never says it. It never says it. Like I said, we've already killed Christianity. I could stop. I don't have to keep going. But see, I believe in beat a dead horse. You see what I'm saying? Until it's pulverized, till it's not recognizable as a horse. It's just pieces laying everywhere that you can't recognize. I take the same approach to dealing with spiritual warfare as I've done in my own life. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. And I believe in overdoing it whenever I'm in a fight. It's always been my way. If I'm going to have a fight with somebody, I'm going to make sure you never want it again. It's the last thing you're going to ever want to do is try to get into another fight with me. You'll never want to do it twice. Never. Punches in bunches. Punches in bunches. Overwhelm your enemy and leave them no opportunity for comeback. No opportunity. That's what we're doing here. We're putting it to rest. We're putting it to bed. I want this series to stand as the sledgehammer. No, I don't want the Most High does. This is what he's doing. He's using me as a sledgehammer right now. None of this is new. Many people have been saying this. Many Israelites have been saying this, but nobody has taken this approach that I'm using to doing this same job. See, you get precepts here and there to tell them something, but I'm walking them through the scriptures, chapter by chapter. Chapter by chapter, fucking them up with the scriptures. The Bible is fucking up Christianity right now. Christianity is getting its ass whooped right now. Fight back. You can't. You can't kick against the pricks. You can't fight against the Most High. This is a spiritual ass whooping going down. Right? Yahweh, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. Yahweh, our power. Other lords beside thee have had dominion over us. See, because we have been led and destroyed by other people. They have been lording over us, all these other nations that now want some kind of joining of hand in hand and take part in our inheritance, right? They crushed the people of the Most High, lorded over us and had dominion over us. Now they think that they can call on Jesus. They think that they can use our book as a religious instrument and get salvation. Negative. It's not how it works. But by thee only will we make mention of thy name. They are dead. They shall not live. They are deceased. They shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them and made all their memory to perish. This is coming. This is coming. He's going to make all of their memory to perish. I'm telling you, one day we're going to look up. They're not going to be around and we're not even going to remember them. We're not going to remember they ever existed. They were created with an expiration date. We were created to be eternal. I get it? Thou hast increased the nation. O Yahweh, thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Yahweh, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery, is in pain and crieth out in her pangs, so have we been in thy sight, O Yahweh. We have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth. Who is this? Who is this describing? Neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Thy dead men shall live. Thy dead men, the dead men of Israel, shall live. Dead, spiritually dead, shall live together. With my dead body shall they arise. Listen. Regeneration. See, they understood this back then. that he understood, Isaiah speaking, he understood that he would die and rise again one day. He's back. He's here now. We are in the end of days. The Most High said in the end of days, he was going to awaken his people. He was going to spiritually, he was going to bring us back. We were going to be back again, living and existing in the end of days. We're all here. The ancients are living again. We are the people of the book. I know it's a scary thought for you Christians, but it's true. Your unbelief cannot make this truth of the Most High not effect. Bottom line. Awake and sing. What he says, now that you've been awakened, awake and sing. Ye that dwell in the dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen. See, the Christians want to talk about rapture. See, listen to this. Who is he talking to? Listen. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. This is what they refer to as the rapture. We are the church of the Most High. They believe everybody who's in Christianity is the church of the Most High. They think the rapture is for them. What does the Most High say? Come, my people. We already discussed, we've beat it into submission, the concept that spiritual Israel and Christianity, Christians are the people. So when he says, come my people, enter thou into thy chambers, he's talking about when we get pulled up into the cloud, when we get pulled up into those chariots in the sky. He's going to tell us, go into thy chambers. We have assigned chambers waiting for us in those quote unquote UFOs, those chariots of the Most High. Going to tell us to shut the doors behind us, hide ourselves, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed, because he's gonna lay waste this place. He's going to exact a serious level of retribution on the inhabitants of the earth. He's going to pull us out first. See, they think they're going to be the ones. They, you see what I'm saying? Oh man, they think they're going to get pulled up. They're going to get pulled out here. Not going to happen. You feel me? They think they're going to get the salvation, but they're never going to get it, 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 never going to get it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Tickle me Elmo. Fuck. I cracked myself up, man. I cracked myself up. You feel me? I cracked myself up. Hey, if you ain't laughing, laugh. You feel me? Feel free to fucking laugh at these ignorant bastards, man. They gotta go. They gotta get the fuck up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? We are past the point of being nice with these people. We are not handling them with kid gloves anymore. That shit's over. That shit's over. We're roaring like lions now. We're standing in the boldness of our faith. We are showing forth his glory that is upon us. No man of the Lord should be out here acting like a fucking coward. You feel me? You should be out here like Bruce Leroy. You should have the glow. Everybody should see you glowing. When you walk around, they should see your aura. They should see the spirit of the Most High upon you. That's what they should see. But they can't see it if you don't even feel it. And I'm telling you, you can't feel it if you're numbing yourself with liquor and weed. You're not a vessel fit for transformation. You're not a vessel fit for the spirit of the highest to come and dwell in you. Think about that, y'all. He's supposed to dwell in you. He dwells in his people. Do you honestly think that the Most High wants to dwell in a vessel that's high to fuck all the time and drunk as fuck all the time? Do you think he resides within you? Do you think you are making him proud and you're a good example of him to the people? Do you think you're making him look good? Do you think you are making him proud of you? Do you think he wants to dwell with you in that state? Do you think he can? Do you think the Most High could dwell in a filthy temple? Do you think he can? That's crazy. Verse 21, for behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to do what? To punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. Man. Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1. In that day, the time of the end, in that day, Yahweh with his sore and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. You see that? The deliverance of Israel, the prophecy, the Most High promised that there would be a deliverance of Israel, not that he would throw them away, that he would deliver them. Okay? In that day, the time of the end, sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. I, Yahweh, do keep it. I will water it every moment, lest any hurt it. I will keep it night and day. See what he's saying? He's talking, he has cares for his people. See, he's saying that he will watch over his people again one day, night and day. He would water it. How does he water us, Israel? Via the Holy Spirit, via these living waters that are the scriptures. He's watering us every moment. None can hurt us. Nothing. I will keep it night and day. Fury is not in me. Who would set the briars and thorns against me in battle? I would go through them. I would burn them together. Or let him take hold of my strength, that he may make peace with me, and he shall make peace with me. He shall cause them that come of Jacob to take root. Israel shall blossom and bud and fill the face of the world with fruit, with children. Children. This world, the face of the world is going to be overrun with our children. All of these people are going to get destroyed to make room for us to fill the land with our children. Only a small portion of these people will be kept for servitude. Oh yeah, regeneration is a thing. You people will be regenerated once you die and be reborn later on as servants. And then you'll die. And then at some point you will regenerate again as a servant again. It's going to happen. Feel me? That is going to happen. Verse 9. By this, therefore, shall the iniquity of Jacob be purged. You see this? This is the plan of the Most High. He has a plan to purge the iniquity of the seed of Jacob. Not to throw it away, but to purge the seed of Jacob of their iniquity over time by all of his judgments and chastisements that he was going to bring upon us. He would purge our iniquity throughout the generations. How does he purge a people's iniquity throughout the generations unless the people are living over and over and over again? How does it make sense? And this is all the fruit to take away his sin. When he maketh all the stones of the altar as chalk stones that are beaten in sunder, the groves and images shall not stand up. Yet the defense city shall be desolate, and the habitation forsaken. The defense city shall be desolate, and the habitation forsaken, and left like a wilderness. There shall the calf feed, and there shall he lie down and consume the branches thereof. When the boughs thereof are withered, it's talking about people. Boughs, the tree, boughs, the branches refer, are part of a tree. And when they're withered, meaning weakened, the people, when they're weakened, they shall be broken off. He's going to weaken them, then break them off. You see what's happening right now? Plagues and everything else, and storms and what's the word I'm looking for? Destructions via natural disasters. Damn, there we go. Natural disasters and plagues and everything else. They're being weakened. They're being weakened and withering. Right? And he says, when the boughs thereof are withered, once they are weakened, they shall be broken off. The women come and set them on fire, for it is a people of no understanding. The women come and set them on fire. The women are going to come and set you know what I'm saying? The men, all the women of these other nations are going to come and they're going to burn the brides of their own men, because they're going to come and try to cling to the true men. Of course, they're going to want to cling to the gods. The same way the black woman, the Negro woman wanted to cling to the white man and the other people because they had the power, right? They felt they found security in the other nations because the Israelite man lost all power. So they clung unto our enemies for security, for safety, for want and need of all things. The women of the other nations are going to do the same thing to us. This is how we're going to fill the world, the face of the earth, with our fruitful, beautiful fruit. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yes, yes. Get used to it. Not only will Israelite women bear Israelite children, but other women will also. Get over it. Get used to it, everybody. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. What the fuck you think? You know what I'm saying? You think you ain't going to be, you know what I'm saying? I hear you guys all the time, oh man, I ain't going to be touching the heathens. The Most High said their women will be ravished. How is that going to happen if you ain't going to touch the women? How is it going to happen? How is his judgment going to be brought upon these people if you're talking about what the fuck you ain't going to do? That he said is going to happen, but you said what the fuck you ain't going to do. Most High says, oh, contraire. Oh, you will. You going to beat them down. You go knock them down. I'm going to set them up and you go knock them down. It's going to be a great game of bowling going down. Oh, you will. Trust me. And it shall come to pass in that day. Wait a minute, did I skip ahead? Let me see. Therefore, they make that note. Okay, well, yes, I did. And they set them on fire, for it is a people of no understanding. They are a people of no understanding. Therefore, he that made them will not have mercy on them, and he that formed them will show them no favor. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall beat off from the channel of the river unto the stream of Egypt, and ye shall be gathered one by one, O ye children of Israel. What? Who? And ye shall be gathered one by one, O ye children of Israel. Children of Israel. Children. Seed, sperm, offspring. Children of Israel. Christians are not going to be gathered one by one. Not going to be saved. The children of Israel is who this promise is for. Period. Period. All right, you guys, we're going to stop right here in Isaiah chapter 27 and verse 13. Once again, as always, I pray that you guys were edified today and that the Most High waters the seeds that were planted today and provides the increase for you all, removes the veil so that he unlocks your understanding. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys are pursuing and chasing wisdom every day. Get wisdom, and all that getting, get understanding. All right? Great words to govern yourselves by. All right, this has been another lesson by Each One Reach One, Christianity versus the Bible. Not even a fair fight. Down goes Frazier. This shit is over. This shit is a wrap. But we go keep boxing up these gifts, man, and pushing them out. Most High is a man of war. It's war on Christianity. Not a battle with Christianity, war. So he will subdue his enemies with mass destruction. And this is what's happening right now. I am being used as a weapon of mass destruction right now. All of the beliefs and ideas of the heathens, it's over for that shit. All of the enemies of the Most High, it's their turn to fall. It's time. This is the season. This is the season. Right? The Most High is keeping his word. He is faithfulness. His word is faithfulness and truth. There was no getting out of judgment. There is no getting out of judgment. Let's give all praise, honor, and glory to the Holy One of Israel, the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Say it with me, Israel. All praise is due. Grace, peace, and blessings to the elect, and only to the elect. To the Gentiles, to you heathens, to you Christians, my advice to you, get yourself a gym membership. Go in and check yourself in a 24-hour fitness, Gold's Gym, whatever you got near you. Order some weights off Amazon. Start getting yourself strong. Get those muscles together. You're going to need it. Y'all got work to do. You guys got work to do. You start getting your body ready right now. Get yourselves together. All right? That's the best advice I got for you. Okay? Prepare yourself for captivity. See y'all on the next one, Israel. I love you guys, man. Shalom.